everyone. If you're just coming in, do a quick check. Are you comfortable? Do you have paper with you? Can you hear me? If you can, great. If you can't, check your volume section. Or if you're in our Zoom sessions, great. Looking forward to having you in class. Now, as always, if you've joined me before, you'll know what I'm going to say next. If you're new here, I am going to now bring up the slides in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, so here we are. Today, I'm going to be teaching for this session, Form 1. I hope everyone's ready. And if you're in the right section, great. If you're in the wrong section, why? But if you want to join us anyway, please feel free to do so. It's completely fine. I know, maybe you just want to do some revision. We'd love to have you here. All right, for those on the Zoom session, please feel free to turn on your video, but do mute yourself unless you're answering questions. We would love to hear your answers though, so looking forward to seeing that. For those on YouTube, you can answer our questions or even ask questions on our YouTube comment section, which if this was 2010, I would say the comment section below. But because we are in 2021, it's comment section on our right, depending on your size of screen. Now let's move on. Our subtopics for today are identifying different literary genres and using past simple with time expressions. Cikgu apa tu? Tak faham. It's okay. That's why we're doing this class. All right. And yes, the word genres is pronounced genre. If you pronounce it any other way, that's okay. It's all in a way to improve yourself. All right. Let's begin. Whoa, too fast. Okay. When you are in a bookstore, would you buy a fiction or non-fiction book? Teacher, how do I know when I don't know what fiction and non-fiction is? So you choose C. What's the difference? Well, fiction refers to something that is made up. Made up here, dibuat-buat. So literal translation here, made up, dibuat-buat, ataupun olo-olo, which means untrue. While non-fiction refers to something that is real, ataupun true, betul. Now, let's look at the next slide for more characteristics of fiction and non-fiction. So again, fiction is made up, non-fiction is true. Can everyone write down in the comment below what is the meaning of non-fiction? What is the meaning for non-fiction now? Tadi I ternampak ada KJ Tekoh. Are there any students in our Zoom session? Just want to make a quick check. I would love to interact with the students in the Zoom session. I don't want to just like not respond if you guys are there. Tak ada? Okay. All right then. Moving forward. If you're watching on YouTube and you would love to interact with me in person live, do join our platform. It's Max's eKelas, where we do regularly online classes for students like you who want to learn. All right. Now, can you guess which are the... can you guess? Well, still, can you guess? I don't think you saw everything, but can you guess which are the characteristics of fiction and non-fiction? Now, for those who think is those who think is fiction, press F. And for those who think it's non-fiction, press NF. Now, let's begin. For real, just a moment. All right. That's a bit weird. Sorry, yeah, I'm just waiting for a few more comments from the section. There we go. Now the live stream's updated. Okay, so hi Navisa, hello everyone. Just want to make sure that the YouTube students are also know that I see you. I'm just looking at the comment section right now. All right, hello. Okay, so the first one, Amitesh answers NF. Characteristics of the word and real applies to the non-fiction genre. So real is NF. All right, nice. Thank you, Hara, Shafiq, Cam, and Arisphobia, NF. Betul. Good job, everyone. All right, now, what is, what do you think is the appropriate letter to put for not real? So not real, F or NF? So now it's not real. So before this was real, so that was NF. But what is not real? Do we have an answer? We're going to wait for the answer in YouTube comment section. I see some requests if you'd like to join our Zoom sessions. We would love to have you, but for future sessions. So before we can do that, we'll need you to join our platform. I'll show you guys the ropes on how to do that on our platform, but at the end of the class. So stay tuned. We'll get to that point. But for now, please enjoy this YouTube live experience. So we have a bit of confusion here. So if real was NF, which is non-fiction, then not real, the opposite of real would be fiction. Correct. It is not real or untrue or made up. Okay. Now, text based on true facts. Okay, here again, text based on true facts. This means that this is factual. It's real. So what would you think this characteristic is for? Fiction or non-fiction? All right, first person to answer was Enrico Erneste. I apologize if I mispronounce your names. If I do, just give me a heads up. I'll try to pronounce it correctly. So Enrico says NF. I see Cam saying NF. Ng Ching Yi, Amitesh Haras, and also Arisphobia all say NF. Great. Someone said NF with a sparkle. All right. So yes, text based on true facts is NF. All right. So for those who are wondering what these characteristics are, if you're just joining us, we are now trying to match the characteristics to non-fiction or fiction. Now, first student who was in the beginning of this class was with us during the beginning of this class. What do you think NF and F means? If you know what it means, put it down in the comment section below to help out those who just joined us. But let's move forward. I'm just gonna now give you all the answers for these characteristics, just so that everyone's clear. And the answer is, there we go. So real is non-fiction, not real is fiction. If it's based on true facts, it's going to be non-fiction, which is true. Illustrations are usually fiction because they're not real. Factual stuff falls under non-fiction. If it's based on your imagination, like I'm imagining a purple fluffy elephant with a sunflower painting on its belly, then it's fiction. Table of contents, which is usually data specific, then it's non-fiction. Read for enjoyment purposes. I like reading non-fiction for enjoyment. I don't know, I like it. I like to know facts. Like, did you know you can deep fry a frozen steak and get really good searing? I just found out about that. All right, but usually kebiasaannya reading untuk enjoy, read to enjoy or read for enjoyment purposes. Okay, let's be correct here. Reading for enjoyment purposes is fiction. And then story or conversations or story talk, as in you're telling your friend a story, usually falls under fiction. All right. Now let's identify which literary genre are fiction and non-fiction. So let's have this one now. Travel guides. Now, what do you think? Comment section of the YouTube live stream peeps. What do you think is the answer here? Fiction or non-fiction? I want to also check into Pusa Internet, KJ Teko. Hi. Are there any students there? I think there's students there. If you're a student, raise your hands up. 1, 2, 3. So I think there's someone off screen. So hi to the person off screen. For those two, great to see you guys, like literally being able to see. Now, what do you think the answer is here? What is a travel guide? Is it fiction or non-fiction? So, travel guide, what do you think? Fiction or non-fiction? B, non-fiction. Yeah. All right. So the good thing is that the travel guide is non-fiction. Now, what I want you to do is have a piece of paper beside you, or if you're on your phone, just put it on your phone. Number 1, your answer was B. We're going to refer to these answers later, okay? All right. So the answer is B, betul, non-fiction. Congrats, Teko. Good job. All right. For those on YouTube, I see Elizabeth, I see Celine, Cam, Ikin Badli is not, that's not the answer. Jivana and also New Player Inc. all got the answer correctly. It is B, non-fiction. Oh yeah, B is the answer also. Yes. Hala Shafiq, good job too. So for everyone on YouTube, good job. Nice work, everyone. All right. So I think everyone has a good grasp for now. But let's go through a few more examples to really test how much we know about fiction and non-fiction, and like how well do we know our reading content. All right, so now we're going through a comic novel. Now, personally for me, I am loving the Invincible series. If you've watched it, great. If you read the comics, perfect, but I have enjoyed it immensely. It's outside the DC and Marvel universe. That being said, a comic novel, is it fiction or non-fiction? For those in the YouTube comment section, please put your answers there. Our teachers will respond to you there. For those in our platform here, Teko, hi Teko. I'm going to go back to you guys again. What do you think the answer is for number 2? A or B? A. A, fiction. Kenapa? Why do you think the answer is A?
Why?
Why do you think the answer, comic novel, the answer is A, fiction?
Why?
Sebab komik. Sebab dia dilukis. Sebab illustrations.
Maybe.
Sebab what else? Sebab direkakan. Betul? Yes. Yes, okay. So yes, comic novels are direkakan ataupun from the imagination. Like, I don't think someone can actually fly. I mean, like, you can using a plane. And our YouTube, yes, betul, Baili Jafar. It is the answer is A, fiction, because it comes from the imagination. Imagination, yes. All right. Comics are created, Cam. Betul, good job. Enrico, fiction. Alia says A. Hara says, no, sorry. Jivana says A. Yeah, betul. Good job, everyone. Comic novels are considered fiction because they are created, they are illustrated, written, and developed for your enjoyment. They're also read for fun. However, that being said, comics are also a good source of reading if you find good ones. So, if you want to have my recommendation for what a good comic is, join us on the EClass in future sessions, okay? We'll have a conversation about that. All right, 3, biography. So, biography, what do you think that falls under? Fiction or non-fiction? A or B? I'm going to give everyone a bit of a think about this because it's a what does biography mean? Specifically biography, not autobiography, biography. So now that if you have an idea of what biography is, which genre do you think it falls under? Fiction or non-fiction? Let's see. Tiko, why do you think the answer is? A, fiction? A or B?
A to B.
It's a B?
Yes.
It's a B, Mario. It's non-fiction.
Fiction ke non-fiction?
Oh, what do you think the answer is? Fiction or non-fiction? Fiction. A. Wait, is it number 1, number 2? Is it 1 or number 2?
Confused.
Confusion. All right, okay. So Teko is unsure. Enrico says non. Kumari says fiction. Ekin says B. Ooh, okay. So let's check out the answer. The answer is B, non-fiction. So biography talks about facts and data, specific stuff here. We're talking about stuff that you don't reka-reka. This is literally a history about the human body or learning about specifically biology. Hello? Hold on. I'm getting a lot of noise from DSD PM. I apologize for that. Please make sure to mute your audio unless you want to answer questions. Thank you very much, everyone. All right. So moving forward, Let's go through this. Oh, number 4 is poetry book. Number 4, the word is poetry book. All right. So why do you think poetry books fall under? Fiction, A, or non-fiction, B? Give it a moment to think about it. Poetry book is basically poesy. Usually I see poetry zines. Books are more for established poets. I'm a bit more into this because I also write stuff. So yeah. But yeah.
No. A. A.
All right. So the course says that poetry books are A, fiction. The YouTube sections, I do have combination of answers here. Novi Blue says B, Yuji Tao says B, Ng Ching Yi says A, Xerox says A. All right, poetry books fall under fiction because though some poets write about real things, and that could be considered non-fiction because it's a spoken or written retelling of a story of things that has happened, and because there's rarely ever any data supported, generally a poetry book falls under fiction. Direka. Direka-rekakan. Because there are also other images in that, like metaphors, imagery that may not be true. For example, as hot as the sun. That's not, no, I don't think so. So yeah. Number 5, an encyclopedia or encyclopedia. So an encyclopedia, A or B, fiction or non-fiction? Correct, Muhammad Ikram. Poetry book is fiction. It's created artistically. A poet takes artistic license with it. Good job. All right. So encyclopedia, what do you think the answer is? A or B? Teko, what's your answer?
A.
A, fiction. Encyclopedia?
Yes. Yes.
Teko, do you know what an encyclopedia is?
I don't know.
Hey, no, no pada muka. I heard that, okay? Encyclopedias contain a lot of information, data, and facts that have been compiled for you to use, usually set up alphabetically. So what do you think encyclopedias are? Fiction or non-fiction? I got New Player Inc. saying B. I have Che Marziam saying A. I have Yoja Tao saying B. Kam Kim saying yes. What? Sorry. Nalfon saying B. It's history. Non-fiction for encyclopedia. So the answer for this question is non-fiction. Betul. Encyclopedias are non-fiction. So non-fiction. The facts and data in encyclopedias are not made up. Usually a body goes through them to make sure that they are correct and factual with supporting documents ataupun maklumat yang menyokong kesahihan maklumat yang ada di dalam encyclopedia tersebut, which is why it's non-fiction. All right. At this point, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the YouTube comment section, or if you're in a Zoom session, personally to me through our chat group. All right. Now, let's talk about this. When do we use simple past tense? We talked about non-fiction and fiction. I'm going to talk about when do we use simple past tense. Now, we have 3 possible answers here. Bila kita nak guna simple past tense. A, to talk about actions that has already happened at some time in the past. B, to talk about actions yang belum lagi berlangsung, that have not had happened. And C, to talk about actions that are currently happening, yang tengah berlangsung. Now, which answer do you think it is? A, B, or C? Now, the YouTube session already has answers. I'm seeing a lot of A's and B's. No, just A's. I apologize. Teko, what do you think the answer is? When do we use simple past tense?
B.
B?
C.
C. So, C.
Yes. Yes.
Actions that are currently happening.
Really.
C or A?
C.
C. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so YouTube says A. Teko says C. The answer is A. All right. No worries. I do know that simple present tense also exists. It does confuse people. No worries about it. Simple past tense talks about things that has happened. Simple past tense are used to talk about actions that have already happened in the past. It is associated with certain past time expressions. All right, so we'll explore what this means. Let's go. All right, now choose the correct form of the verb for the sentence. Okay, so what we need to do is you want to read the sentence, you want to look at the word in brackets and use the correct form. It's form that fits the sentence. All right, so let's go to number one. Number one is I speak to my mother last week. Now, speak is the base form. What do you think is the correct form here? We can see here the sentence has the word last week. That's a time, a thing to note. It was last week, minggu yang lepas. So we're having answers here. We have the answer spoke, BBB from Akin, Anusha, Badli, Vijay, Pritesh, Xerox, Arisphobia, all say the answer is B. Thank you, Arjuna, for joining us. All right, so the answer is B from YouTube, with Alia saying it might be C. The code, what do you think the answer is?
B.
B. The answer is B, betul. Last week indicates that the action was performed in the past. Therefore, the verb should be in the simple past tense form. Last week also shows a definite point, specifically last week, that this has happened, all right? So with the fact that we know that it happened in the past, exactly 7 days ago, then we know, sorry, not exactly 7 days ago, January last week, we know that it's in the past, it has already happened, so we'll have to use the simple past tense form. Now, we have time for one more question. Let's go. Let's try. Okay. Let's try. You know what? I'm going to go through this quickly. This one is I go to the museum a long time ago. A long time ago here is definite time that tells you it was in the past. So we'll go with went. So I went to the museum a long time ago. This is the past tense form of it. A long time ago indicates the action was performed in the past, so it should be in simple past tense form. A long time ago also shows an indefinite point in time. So this one, there is no specific time frame. Go is one of the few words that if you change it into the past tense, it changes from go to went. It is not goed, but went. All right, so our last question that we'll do today is one of these. We'll want you to fill in the blanks with the correct simple past tense of the words we have in the bracket. Good job, YouTube section. Your answers are correct. It's C. Right now, we're going to go to the last bit of it. I'm going to choose a question here. Let's go to question number 8. Father something, a form of the word wash the car in the afternoon. We'll do question 8 and question 1 quickly. So question 8, father something. KJ Teko. What do you think is the simple past tense form of the word wash? Father something in the car in the afternoon. Vijay has the answer first there. We have the answer washed. Teko, I think Teko is a bit preoccupied, but it's okay. So yes, father washed the car in the afternoon. Now, final question, very quickly now. The boys something, past tense form of fight, for the last slice of cake. The boys something that's based on fight for the last slice of cake. What is the past tense, simple past tense form of the word fight? Teko, what's your answer for 1? The boys. Dum, 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 dum. Hello, Teko, you still there? So what is the simple past tense of the word fight? Gaduh.
Left. Left.
What?
Left.
Left?
Left.
Can you spell that for me, please? Left? Okay, hold on. So I'm not quite sure, Tuko. I do apologize. I heard left or reft. I'm not quite sure. But the YouTube comment section says fought. Je thought isn't sure. It's okay. We'll go through it. The answer for number 1 is fought. All right. The answer for the first question is fought. Good job, everyone. Now, if you're on YouTube, you can screenshot the first question section and then screenshot the answer section and then try it again in the future to see how far you are on changing words from its regular form to its past form. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Chu Ming Khan. Thank you, Danisha. Thank you, Hafiz. Thank you so much, Anusha. Thank you, VJ, Yu Tiao. Amitesh, Enrico, and everyone else on the YouTube section that joined us. You guys were amazing. I love seeing such energy there. KJ Tako, you guys have been amazing too. It's always fun to have students in our section. Thank you so much. A round of applause. Thank you for answering walaupun malu. I know it was a lot of energy and a lot of bravery. So I'm really proud of you. Good job. I look forward to seeing you in future classes. Until then, though, thank you all for joining us. For those who asked us about it, you can join us at Max's eKelas, and I will share with you what that website will look like. Just a moment. Gonna mute people because I'm getting noise in the class. Okay. Sharing screen now. Oh, hold on. Okay. All right. Okay, there we go. So here it is. So this is, you're welcome. So here is what our platform looks like. So if you go to ekelas.com.my, you'll find yourself at this page. You can join us by Daftar Log Masuk, where you'll be asked your details, which is your email, your password, and your profile. Now, I would recommend that you do this with your parents. That way you have an easier time remembering your account and writing down your password and your username somewhere so that you never forget it, because we do track your progress. We see what you've done, what you're doing, and how you're doing. And you can always ask us questions or even join us in future classes and sections. Now, we also have a competition for everyone. It's called HIP, Pertandingan HIP Essay Writing Class. Hold on, here you go. HIP Story Fest, where if you click this one, you'll find out more information. The competition is easy. Either write an essay with provided topic that will provide you down below, or record a video. Now, if you do this and if you submit, not only do you get a chance to win special prizes, you've also gonna be getting points for PAJSK. And because we are in the MCO, and I doubt that anyone is getting chances to do sports anymore, why not join this? You will be getting PAJSK marks at national level for participating and or achievement, okay? So if you've participated, you're already gonna get these points. For the parents watching the YouTube live, this is a big thing. Please get your children to submit an essay or video for this competition. But Teacher Umar, we don't know anything about this competition. How do we even begin? Not to worry. Oh, oops, sorry. Okay. Don't worry about that. We have provided for everyone the classes here. If you click on these sections, you will find yourself being able to access it at any time. Just click HIP Story Fest workshop and go through each slide for more information. We also have separated it between upper primary, secondary, and also separated the essay writing and also the storytelling. All right, there we go. Now, I will look everyone for the future classes, but now we're going to move on to the next class. Join us tomorrow on Saturday and Sunday for maths and also science. Until then, my name is Teacher Umar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next class.